smoke's starting to reflect some of the smoke.
What's up, boys? Day 3 of my trip to Disney. Today we're going to Animal Kingdom.
Disneyland one did not have a backwards, did not go backwards. Oh, is that the Navi River thing? Nava, whatever. It's Fast Pass Resort, right?
On this journey of ours to the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. No show of hands, is there anyone out there that's never been on safari before? Oh, well, welcome aboard, guys. The rest of you, welcome back. You know the rules, so please obey them, live them, love them, all that jazz. Rule number 1, I do ask that everyone does stay seated during the entirety of this trip. It's going to be a bumpy ride out there. I'm not exactly a slow driver. They let me go a whole 8 miles an hour, which is pretty fast around here. So I do ask that everyone does stay seated. If you have a child at your lap, I ask that they stay in your lap and facing forward. Please do not raise them up. They are not Simba. This is not the Lion King, and you, my friend, are most definitely not Rafiki. If you're planning on taking pictures or video, I highly recommend throwing that camera into sports or action mode. Yes, they can still do that. And holding on tight, as you can tell, we're going to be moving the entire time. And I am unable to stop for any items that happen to fall out of the truck. This includes cell phones, hats, glasses, loved ones, the like. Now our first stop is going to be the Little Aturi Forest here. The forest is home to many animals whose colors help them blend in, so keep an eye out here. Camouflage is key as well. We're kind of in a forest.
There's some.
And if you guys take a look up here on our left, actually, there's some bongo hanging out. Now these bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest, as they're rarely seen. Those beautiful chestnut coats, though, they do have nice long horns in the back of their head, though, that are going to help them run through the brush. They become a lot more active at night. They like to use the cover of darkness to help them hide from predators. We're also passing some black and white birds there. I think there's just one there right now. So those are saddle-billed storks. Get their name from the shield-shaped saddle you saw on their bill. It's big and yellow. You can't miss it. They're very territorial birds, though. The pairs tend to kick the other pairs out of their area, so they do like their space. They're also quite tall. They stand at about 5 feet tall, so not almost as tall as I am. I measured me today and said I was 5'5". I said, you're kidding, right? They said, you have boots on that give you 3 inches. I said, thanks. I know at night in the forest, many of these antelopes that we're seeing actually sleep in shifts. This ensures that someone is always awake and alert. On the lookout for any predators that are looking about. You might have noticed that those bongo had white lines on the sides. That helps to act as camouflage for them, so many predators take a look in the bushes, looking out for the antelope, see those white lines and think it's the sun shining through, so they leave them alone. And as we leave the forest, we are headed up to the Safi River. This is home of many aquatic animals, so animals that like to call the water their home. Safi in Swahili does mean clean. So this is technically the clean river. It looks like there's a few leaves that have fallen in it. On your right there you are seeing our welcoming committee, though. It's our welcoming committee of vultures. Alright, now here on our left, looks like I just see one right now, but I'm sure there's some under the water there as well. That is a Nile hippo. Now, hippos are one of the most dangerous animals out here. They're very aggressive and very territorial animals. They are mainly aquatic, though, so they like to spend their day in the water. They can even spend up to 8 minutes at a time fully submerged in the water. They don't like to swim, though. They actually prefer walking along the bottom of the water, which you'll see them do quite frequently here. Now, they do gain quite a bit of weight in adulthood. When they're born, they weigh about 85 pounds. By the time the male hippo reaches adulthood, you're looking at 5,500 pounds. They put a little bit on there. The white birds you're seeing sitting out here look a little gray to you guys. They're pink-backed pelicans. And they get their name from the pink color. Their backs turn during mating season. They're also going to be colonial nesters. So they nest in groups of 20 to up to 500 pairs at a time. And during the incubation process, which for them is only 30 days long, both the male and the female actually sit on the egg. You see another one of those hippos walking into the water here. And as we go over this bridge, we're going to ask that everyone does stay seated in your seat. Just a second here, Nyla. These are some Nile crocodiles here. So Nile crocodiles are going to be the larger species of crocodile. They weigh about 500 pounds and get to be 16 feet long. If you ever see a crocodile with their mouth open, they're not hungry, I promise. They're usually just a little overheated. Crocodiles like to open their mouths to let out excess body heat, and that's their way of cooling themselves down. They're also going to be amazing parents, so when the time comes, both the male and the female actually roll the eggs around in their mouth to help the babies hatch. Up to a baobab tree here on our right. Now baobab trees kind of look like upside down trees. They're also known as the tree of life. They can go leafless for about 9 months out of the year, and that's because they're going to hold water in their trunks to make it through drought season. If you ever see any holes in a baobab tree, it usually means an animal like an elephant has come by. They actually like to dig their tusks into the tree to grab water. You might find a few more here as we come around. Now we are coming into a pretty beautiful view out here. It's one of my favorite views, actually. View of the savannah. This is very similar to the view that animators got about 25 years ago when they entered into East African savannah and took a few safaris themselves. This was to get some pretty cool ideas for that movie that we all know and love, and another live action coming out in another couple weeks. And that is The Lion King. As you can see, there are some giraffes out here. These are Maasai giraffes. And you can tell they're Maasai by the rough edges you're seeing around their spots. Reticulated giraffes have much more square spots, a little bit larger spots as well. They're all going to be the same height though. When a giraffe reaches adulthood, they're looking at 18 to 20 feet tall. When these babies we're seeing out here are born, they're looking at 6 feet tall, about 150 pounds. They're able to walk, stand, and even run within their first hour of life, though. And then you will most of the time see them standing, so very rarely sitting. Sometimes you see them sitting out here. It's because they're on a reserve and they know they're safe. They only sit when they feel completely safe. The nice long tongues you see of theirs, though, are 18 inches long. They're nice and dark, keeps them getting sunburned when they're eating. If you guys take a look also on here on your right, just in the middle, there are some springbok there. I like to call them s'mores with legs because of those colors. But they get their name from their ability to spring themselves up in the air 6 feet high and 13 feet forward through the air. They do this when they're afraid. You guys take a look here on your left. It's hard to see because they're just over the bushes. There are some spotted hyenas out there. Now hyenas aren't part of the canine family or the feline family. Everybody sit down, please. They're actually part of their own family, and that's going to be the Hyenidae. So they get their own little family there. They are a female-dominated species, though, and that the lowest-ranking female always outranks the highest-ranking male. You guys take a look here on your left. There's quite a few of them laying down. Looks like they've migrated over here. Those are white-bearded wildebeest. They do get their name from the Afrikaans word for wild beast. You'll also hear them called a gnu quite often. It's pronounced N-E-W, it's actually spelled G-N-U. And they get their name from the grunting sound they make. You guys take a look here on your left and over there in between the giraffe, or on either side of the giraffe here. These are Patterson's elands. Now Patterson's elands are the largest antelope you'll see here on the reserve. They do stand 6 feet tall just at the shoulder. So if you see them next to a baby giraffe, it's very interesting because they're almost the same height. See a few of those laying down here. Now giraffes do stand most of the time because of their defense mechanisms. their kicks. So they have very strong, very powerful kicks, kind of like a horse's kick, and that's going to be help to deter predators. They also sleep standing up and only sleep for about 30 minutes a day. So they take a nice little power nap there. Sleep with their eyes wide open as well. It helps predators think that they're awake and alert and ready. Now the animal that's right here on my left, actually pretty close to us, this is an Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are also known as Watusi cattle after the tribe that first domesticated them. They're the one and only domesticated animal out here on the reserve. And those long white horns we just saw get to be 6 feet long. They do contain a honeycomb-like structure that's going to help cool their body temperature down. I don't know the giraffes were passing.
Sleeping bags, just in case.
See another one of those Ankole cattle here on our left. You guys think about it, you were 4 feet up and think of how big they look from here. So down on the ground, they're kind of huge. They are known as a sign of wealth in many cultures though. The Maasai people, for example, have very large herds of them. It is said that the larger the herd, the more wealthy the farmer is going to be. And at night, you cannot put them in a bank like you would money. So they round them up in pens called manyadas. Alright, now we are entering elephant territory here, guys, so keep an eye out. And for just these animals they're very good at hiding. We like to play a game out here, like I get to talk about them till I see them, and then I tell you I see them. Keep an eye out. Lots of rocks out here, lots of trees for them to hide behind.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not seeing anything yet, but that's okay. We'll try to find some. They are a very family-oriented group, though, so they do spend most of their day together. The babies during the day will go out and play with their aunts, uncles, cousins, but then at night they all return home to their immediate family. It's kind of like having a curfew. The male elephants do stay with their herd until they hit puberty, though, at which time it usually starts to get a little more rough with the other babies, so the matriarch recognizes this behavior and lets them know that it is time to head out on their own. So they'll head out on their own or join up with a group of bachelors. Now we are coming into some red clay pits here, so we might find some signs that someone's been by. I do see test marks here on our right. Shows that elephants have walked, so we still probably walked earlier. They like to eat this red clay and use it as a vitamin. It's very similar to the multivitamin you guys take at home. So they'll dig their tusks into the clay and then eat it with their chunks. Okay. They could be hiding back there. It is getting kind of hot out here, so they might be finding some shade. They do have the ability to get sunburn though, so they like to throw dirt, mud, and sand on their backs to help act as their sunscreen. A lot of times you'll see them hiding in the trees. Now, conservation research has actually shown us that elephants are also afraid of bees, which is very interesting. They're huge elephants and little bees, but they're afraid of getting stung. So now in Kenya, there's actually many Kenyan farmers that have beehive fences. This ensures the elephant safety from the farmers trying to run them off of their land. It also keeps the farmers' crops safe from the elephants trying to come onto the land. They're usually looking for food. These farmers also benefit from the sale of the honey they get. Now Now we are coming into some greater flamingos here on our left. Greater flamingos are the lightest pink of all flamingos. So when they hatch, they're little gray puffballs. They're super cute, but they get this pink color from the brine shrimp they eat in their diet. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. So right now this is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. And they are very social birds, as you can tell. They're very social all day and all night, usually leaving the comfort of home for food. I like to consider them as a group of teenage girls. Now we are passing a poacher's platform here on our left. That's what that pile of stuff is. Many wardens will use these poachers' platforms as a way to keep an eye out for any poachers trying to make their way onto the reserve. They'll confiscate rhino horns, elephant tusks that have been taken. No, rhinos are targeted for their horns, which many people believe to have medicinal properties. They don't. They're actually just made out of keratin, and that's the same stuff found in your fingernails and hair. So really, they're poached for no reason. So much so, there's only about 5,600 black rhinos left in the world. That's not a good number. Elephants are targeted for their tusks, which are made out of ivory, and people like to try to make jewelry out of them. Now, conservation efforts in reserves are helping to bring these numbers up quite a bit, which is awesome. But stopping poaching has become quite the battle, as many of these poachers are very well financed and use some strategic hunting strategies. Alright, now this is going to be Let's Find the Cheetah. You guys take a look all the way in the back, just hiding out in the bushes. Might move his tail, but there's a cheetah hanging out back there, just in the shade. Look for those spots. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They are great at camouflage. If you can't see them, that's okay. It takes 1 second too. They can reach speeds of 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. Now, eventually, they do have to slow down though, so they can only keep that up for a couple hundred yards. They do have a nice long muscular tail though that's going to help act as a rudder for them and actually helps them keep their balance while they're running. You might have noticed if you ever saw a picture or got an up close view of a cheetah, they do have a black line running from their eyes down to the side of their mouth. This black line helps act as sunglasses for them and actually helps reflect the sun while they're running.